not racist. It's just that there's so many of them motherfuckers that are racist. I'm not gonna take time out to try to single out the good ones. I'm gonna look at them all as if, okay, stay away from them unless they really, really make it necessary for you to talk to them and make it perfectly clear to you that, okay, I'm one of the cool ones. Otherwise, I ain't giving nobody no chance to be trying to poison me, stab me, none of that shit. I'm too old for that. I have been through this earth. And I know what's out there, and I'm dealing with earth likewise. I ain't gonna listen to no stupid ass preacher tell me if you walk around here expecting that everybody is evil, then that's what everybody gonna be. No, people was evil when I fell out of my mama's ass, because before I even came to earth, they was burning people and hanging people and chopping people's phalluses off. So that's the world I live in. I'm gonna live according to that and understand where I'm at. You be an idiot to be running around in the forest with lions all around your ass, thinking for some reason your flesh is not something that they would be desiring to eat too.
Yeah.
You're a damn fool.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I gotta go ahead and make Calvin something to eat. She's screaming at me and shit.
Yo, I feel you on that. I want you to do one thing for me though, man. When you leave and go out into the world today, I want you to go to a tree. And I want you to watch how the branches that branch off on most of the stems, when they branch off and go two directions, they create a V, right?
Okay.
But now, if you get past the V and look at the stem that V is connected on, you'll see that it's a Y, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the word Yosef, okay? The word Yesu, the word Jeremiah, all those names that they changed and plagiarized with a J. Okay?
Right.
See, Yesu was Yeshua.
Right.
See, Jesus was changed from Yeshua to Jesus. They changed the Y to a J.
Yeah, well, the Mexicans spell his name J-E-S-U-S. They don't even pronounce it that way. They call him Jesus.
Right, Jesus. Like an H. Because the J...
When are these niggas gonna wake up?
You want me to tell you why? Because...
It's like a white man telling you, you can't call that Mexican Jesus. His name is Jesus. Like, a white man can just tell you any fucking thing and you believe it. Come on, man.
Well, see, that's the reason I wanted to express about the Y. If you watch the Y, when the tree branches off, you have a stem, and then at the end of the stem, it turns into a V. The V with the stem on it branches off to be a Y. Now, that Y is a polarity of a branch turning into two directions. It goes one way and the other way, meaning a split. But that split is still connected by the shaft that is on. So the reason I'm pointing that out to you is because the original language and the original writings were written with the letter Y in it, because first of all, it asks a question why. Now the Y would explain everything like I was just saying. It shows you the two polarities of male and female splitting from the same source but always coming back together. Now that's what would happen to the black man and the black woman. We've split it apart because it was necessary for that to happen, but we have to come back together. Now the only way we're going to be able to come back together as a people is that the same brainwashing that got done to our women to accept a God other than her original God, which is her counterpart, herself. See, I'm not an opposite piece of that woman. I am her completeness. And we got to make them understand that they're trying to find that completeness in a dead energy source that can only have life if they keep supplying it. Now, you can't supply life to a dead energy source when you're depleting the live energy source that's coming around you, trying to communicate with you every day. That's like two planets moving to the same solar system with each other and overlook each other because one of the planets is waiting on another planet to show up. It's like, how stupid can you be? I'm right here.
Yeah. What about this joke that Chappelle had when he was hanging up there and the white boy was whipping him? He said, "What's your name?" He was like, Kunta. All right, he wanted him to say Toby. And the Dave Chappelle, motherfucker hit him too hard. Dave Chappelle jumped off the thing and was like, "I told you not to hit me so hard." But the thing is this, you got the slave hanging up there and the white man whipping him saying, "What's your name? Kunta, right?" You can see that right and watch this. You put a Mexican right next to him, right, hang his ass up there and start whipping his ass. Say, "What's your name?" And the Mexican say, "Jesus." And the white man say, "No, your name is Jesus." And he hit that Mexican with the whip again. "What's your name?" And the Mexican like, "Jesus." And the white man like, "No, your name is Jesus."
Either way.
That's the same shit that told me up.
Yeah, but either way, that's just, it's just really redundant is what you think about it, because if you can see right there a name that had to be beat on you is a name that you should beat off of you.
Yeah, hey, look, we can actually do that skit, right? We get one of our Mexican friends, have him hang a from a tree with some rope and shit, and then they're like ripping his ass. What's your name? He like, Jesus. We're like, nah, your name is Jesus. That shit would be funny, dude.
Well, I don't know. That probably would make a lot of people upset. I mean, it probably would make me upset. I mean, but I understand your point in that because it's just a reverse form of psychological bondage. I see exactly what you're saying, you know?
Or you can do it like this. You hit him with the whip and you say, you say, what's my name? Then he goes, Toby. And you say, what's your name? And he goes, Jesus. You're like, no, Jesus. What? That shit would be funny as hell. Then you be like, what's my name? And he goes, Toby. You like, what's your name? Jesus. Oh, your name is Jesus. That's the same shit they did to the Mexicans, man. How the Mexicans gonna spell his name Jesus? And you ask him, what's your name? He's like, Jesus.
See,
no, motherfucker, your name is Jesus.
Look, let me. You know, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me point something out to you that a lot of people miss. All right.
Yeah.
See, that whole word is a Portuguese word.
Right.
Now, these Mexicans, these so-called Mexicans, they don't.
You did your study, and I didn't even know that. It's a Portuguese word.
Yeah, it's a Portuguese word. The whole Spanish language is a combination of Portugal, Spain, and Italy.
Right. Okay.
If the Romans and the Spanish people got together and never met each other, their language is so synonymous with each other, they would be able to communicate through the languages. Listen, the Puerto Ricans, the Spanish, the Mexicans, the Italians, all that language is language that was implemented from one race of people, even if that race of people from different sectors and changed what little mild, minute changes there were, the language still stayed enough where they can understand each other. So my point is, the Puerto Ricans, the Spanish people, the Mexican people, that language is synonymous with the Portuguese people and the Spanish people all together, because it was Spain, is Queen, what was it? Queen Isabella, I think, and then it was Spain and Portugal who, with the help of the Vatican, went around the world and enslaved all the black people.
Yeah.
So the Mexicans that live down here and speak Spanish and really believe that they're Spanish, I mean, for real, you got some real problems, because first of all, you can't go to Spain and find your auntie over there. The only place you're going to find your auntie is here in America. See, if I went to Africa, I could find my auntie over there. I might not know her, but I'm sure I could find her there somewhere. I will be able to find a common root history with that land, with the whole earth, because the reason why is all civilization, all life started there in the fallopian tube of the Nile Valley and then spread over the whole planet. But my thing is this. All this had got done before there was any Caucasian people on the earth. The Caucasian people who came along and breeded with the black people in Spain, the Moors, and created a language that was called a Spaniard language from the Portuguese people in Spain and all that. That was a combination of those people over there, where the black people was breeding with those white people, but they kept a divided nation, because when the Spaniards ran the Moors out of there, the Europeans are the ones who remained in those Portuguese and Spaniard areas and the Italian areas and all that. Once the Moors had to leave, they stayed there and made themselves white all over again. Now, all these people down here, they got victimized after these people made themselves pure white again and came back to these lands that they hadn't knew about, because at one time they used to come visit here with the Moors and all that, but they wanted to have the fact that the Moors ever been in England and Europe, along with the fact that they used to come to the America with the Moors. They tried to hide all that shit. Okay, here's the deal. These Spanish people that's here in Americas, and they black, and they know they're a mixture of black and white, but they want to push their blackness all the way out the picture, because we live in a world where you're taught that you be more privileged if you're not black. Well, one thing they're going to have to understand is that you are not going to look in the mirror every day and see that black ass face and not be able to deal with the reality of who you really are. And when you be in self-denial like that, the only thing you do is make yourself be sick. And one of your illnesses might be mental illness, where when you see someone else that look exactly like you, because you want to deny yourself as being something great, you can't see nothing but that other person as being something less than being great. So when you look at me and try to look down on my blackness, guess what? Leave me the fuck alone and take your bitch ass to a mirror and do that shit to yourself. That's the way that should go. Because that brainwash stuff you got in your mind that since you speak a certain language, you think that's who you're supposed to be. Let me tell your dumb ass something. I speak English, but I know if I go to England, the white people are going to treat me like shit. Take your bitch ass to Spain and see how you get treated over there.
Yeah, even if you got the Bobby accent, you probably still get.
They're gonna put his ass to work just like they do him here. But since they give him all the jobs over here, he think he all that.
Talking about Chivia, we talk about and all that bullshit. You still get racist.
Of course it's gonna be that way, because that's what the format he set up. I'm not just saying this shit because I want to talk. It's true. I live on the planet with them. They racist as hell. They just as racist as the white man.
Yeah, but I met some niggas from London and they got the old Cheerio buff accent. They'll tell you, oh yeah, it's racist as hell over there. The white man is the same every fucking one. They'll tell you, they'll be up on some shit. Those black people that live in London, they can have a real conversation. I met one that was over here playing music, and his music was all revolutionary and conscious and shit. And I was like, damn, he got it. Like the group Soul to Soul, they're from London.
Yeah.
And their music was like semi-conscious, you know.
Well, the problem is that it ain't even just segments of people that act that way. All people on the earth act that way. Even black people act that way toward each other. We were just talking about how the black woman is like that. But one thing we can identify with is what is the root cause of it.
That's the disease, yeah. I mean, we've all inherited this disease from the Europeans.
That's right.
Greed.
That's right.
Lust and greed.
That's right. That's absolute. And I'm not saying that to pick on nobody. I'm just saying that so people can wake up. If you got it, if there's something wrong with you, this is what I'm saying. You need holistic healing.
The seven deadly sins, they don't belong to the divine people, or they must be for the fucking reject peoples, the infidel.
Well, you are what you do.
You are what you do.
A tree, you can tell a tree by the fruit it bear. Now, if I went to a tree and it had a sign on it that said pear tree, and I looked up in the tree and saw some apples in it, what kind of tree is it?
Oh, wow, it's an apple tree.
It's an apple tree, that's right. Regardless to the fact that it's trying to claim that it's a pear tree, it's obvious to me that you are an apple tree because you have apples on you. So you're not going to tell me that you God and then walk around the planet destroying everything that God has created.
Oh, God, the whole Adam and Eve story. How come black people in church can't even get past that? Damn.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Have you broke that one down yet on video?
Why do I have to? You know what? I don't have to. You know why? Because they sit up in those churches and they're the ones who want to walk around the world giving people Bible scriptures. I remember when I was in West Angeles church, those dudes who were so upset at my knowledge because I was talking to them, just showing them how the Bible was stupid. So on graduation day, Bishop Blake had the nerves, because when I let their ass have it on graduation day, I was like, this ain't nothing. This paper ain't shit. So the word got back to Bishop Blake, and then he had his ass sitting up in the pulpit preaching, talking about me real bad, and had the nerves to say, don't know a Bible scripture. I started to walk up to him and say, I don't need to know a Bible scripture. All I need to know is where your ass is and where I need to put this Bible. But you know what? I kept all that to myself because of the fact that I know all that evil shit they was doing to me is because I had their ass nervous. Because I was pointing out to them how much of a damn fool they were for sitting up, not only accepting that brainwash for themselves, but going out of their way to perpetuate on everybody else. They had the nerves to suggest to me that I paid them $27 for a bag of little handout pamphlets that people give to me on the train. I said, wait a minute. I said, people trying to give me that stuff on the train all the time. I said, I got my own literature that I read, so I tell them they should give it to someone else. Why do I have to pay you $27 for that? And then I pay tithes. And then I pay month every week. This is what I asked the guy who was teaching me in the World of Growth class. I told him, I said, listen, I think that you guys should give us that free. I don't have enough money to pay for that. They wouldn't give it to me. I was broke. I was broke right in the